And we're back here at South Paulding High School. Robert Heydrich along with Chuck Jones ready to bring you game 2 of the SportalShowcase Showcase of high school basketball. And we had a great matchup in the first game with Mundy's Mill holding off an upset from Franklin County, an upset bid 59-57. And now we get ready to see the number 1 ranked team in AA, Woodville-Tompkins, the Wolverines, taking on the Chattooga Indians from Somerville. And joined by Chuck Jones, Chuck, kind of out of breath from running up and down the steps. But we had a great matchup in the first game, kind of a shift in schedule due to the weather. But this is a matchup that I think a lot of basketball fans are going to want to watch.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Woodville-Tompkins, of course, is number 1 in the state of Georgia in the 2A section. Also, Chattooga, they are a very scrappy team, and I'm definitely in for what's in store. I love everything about both of these two teams and like to see the different mixes of the styles of play to go against each other. And we'll like to see Bernard Pallot. He's for Woodville-Tompkins. He's 6'7", pretty nice in the paint. On the outside, he's got a smooth stroke. Look to see some good things from him as well. Also, Preston Crisp. Preston Crisp is a bona fide scorer. He's averaging over 25 points a game. Also 11 rebounds and 2 blocks to go along with it. So Woodville has a lot of size that these guys will be able to take advantage of against Chattooga. Now, Chattooga has Nuk Adams out of 2019 class. He's a radiant point guard that gets up and down the floor, and he's going to cause a lot of trouble for the Woodville defense.
Yeah, this should be an interesting battle. You talked about Woodville-Tompkins. Last year they were in single A, and they lost in the to Calhoun County in the Final Four. They moved up to AA this year, and they're already the number one ranked team in the classification with a loaded lineup. And of course, they're taking on a Chattooga team that's coached by Jared Ghost that is off to a kind of a slow start, 3-2. But that's because a majority of their team, 13 players for Chattooga, played football, and they got into the second round of the playoffs. So they really kind of had to wait a couple of weeks longer than some other teams to get going. But they're anxious to see just exactly how they fare up against some of the top competition in the state.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I think a lot of teams, they have to have some time together, to mesh. And, right now, this is a true test for them, for basically to throw them in the fire against the number 1 team in the state. I do expect them to come out with a good bang and look for a lot of excitement.
Yeah, this should be a very interesting matchup. You talked about Nuk Adams and also Bernard Pallot for Woodville-Tompkins, and this Woodville lineup, they bring you a lot of height at you, a lot of reach, and that's going to be interesting to see how Chattooga can answer that.
Yeah, it's going to be tough because not only are they, just long and athletic, but, they can actually step out on the perimeter with all that length. And that makes it hard on the defense for Chattooga with them being a little undersized. But I don't think that they will back down from what Woodville has to offer. So that's why I said I think this is going to be a very electrifying game. A lot of people are expecting it to be a rollover from from Woodville's area. But however, I'm just kind of confident in Chattooga, and I'm always rooting for the underdog.
Yeah, the underdog always is a popular choice to root for. This is the second of 5 games. We're here at South Paulding High School, home of the Spartans. We're in South Paulding County near Douglasville and Hiram. And if you're in the area, you want to come by and see this action in person, we'll welcome you here. If not, just make sure your computer is plugged in and that you're able to watch on your favorite device. After this game, coming up at 4 o'clock, we've got a really great matchup between Eagles Landing Christian Academy from 1A against 7A Grayson, a Grayson team that lost in the 7A semifinals back in the spring. Then at 6 o'clock, Coffee High, one of the top teams in 6A from Douglas, Georgia, Southeast Georgia, taking on Campbell out of Cobb County. And then at 8:30, the host South Paulding High School will be taking on Jeff Davis the Yellow Jackets from Hazelhurst. If you haven't heard it, you saw original schedule, you saw that South Paulding was supposed to play Monday's Mill, but due to the weather in northeast Georgia where they've got snow and ice predicted this weekend, Franklin County came to play the early game so that they can get back home before the weather gets too bad, and we wish them a safe trip here. They played a great game. I don't know how much you saw of that first game, but
yes.
It was a 3A team taking on a 6A team, and it went right down to the final shot as Franklin County missed a three-pointer that hit the back of the iron that could have won the game for them.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. And I understand the difference between, classifications, but once you get inside those four lines, it's just basically you lace them up and you go. And I think Monday's Mill took Franklin County a little light, and Franklin County gave a lot of resistance on trying to pull off the upset. And I just definitely think that, with a couple shots here and there, Franklin County may have walked out of there with the win.
Well, this is the time of year where coaches are really looking forward to getting into non-region games like this, showcases like this, holiday tournaments, and the coaches that I've talked to are talking about this is a great opportunity for us to learn about ourselves and prepare ourselves for that region schedule, because when you get back from Christmas break, it's all about the region schedule, the region tournament, and getting into that state tournament.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of coaches like to make their schedule kind of tough earlier on, so they can prepare themselves for the state tournament. It seems if they get through those region lines, and then also you have a lot of teams that they play these these schools when they're playing in the region, and also when they're playing in the state championships, and then also the state playoffs as well. So, it's just all about a fine tune and see what you got. You lace them up and you go.
I know Jared Gross for Chattooga said that their Region 7 AA really, the strength of the teams is not exactly what they're going to see if they get into the state playoffs. This is why he's looking forward to this game. The teams are now getting ready to introduce the starting lineups, and we will be able to go with it. Woodville will be in the blue, and they're going to be in the visiting team today, and their starting lineup, they're going to go with Bernard Pelote and Jarkavian Dillard, Preston Crisp, number 4, Deontay Green, and Charleston Willingham. For Chattooga, who will be in the white jerseys, they're going to go with their pretty much a senior lineup. Malachi Mack, their all-star Nuk Adams, number 3. Jarmaeus Mosteller, probably Coach Gross says their best all-around player. Clayton Johnson, another senior, and junior Malachi Jackson. Those are going to be your starting lineups as we get ready to tip off here in a few minutes of the SportalShowcase Showcase at South Paulding High School in Paulding County, near Douglasville and Hiram. It's interesting, this high school has a Douglasville address in Douglas County, which is not too far from here, but want to give a shout out to our crew, Locke Hoover, who is our engineer, and Raheem Forgani, who's our cameraman, executive producer, Kyle Sandy, engineer producer, Joseph Johnson, and also our executive producer, director, Brian Zwerner, the head of SportalSpace, who puts this together. And I'd like to know that you can count on SportalSpace, sportalspace.com, at SportalTV on Twitter for all of your high school action, from whether it's football, volleyball, softball, basketball, baseball, soccer, lacrosse, from the start of the high school calendar year in athletics from August to May. SportalSpace is there covering high school sports in Metro Atlanta and across the Georgia. So, Chuck, we're getting ready to tip off, and just interesting to know what you look forward to see in this first quarter. What are some of the things you're going to look forward to see from each team to see how this game may play out?
Well, Chattooga is basically a hustle team. They are going to get a lot of plays off their hustle, and then also Woodville, of course, they are going to go inside with their size and also try to dominate on the glass. But Chattooga is going to need to do a lot of boxing out to make sure that the glass is not controlled by Woodville throughout the game. If they are pressuring the Woodville guards, I think this is going to be a good one.
All right, we're getting ready to go with the tip, and it is controlled by Preston Crisp and Woodville-Tompkins. The Wolverines from Savannah have the basketball. Woodville coming out in a man-to-man, kicking it over to Willingham. Willingham looking for somebody open. He kicks it wide out to Dillard, and Jaquavian Dillard's three is no good. Rebound, though, going into Willingham, and it is taken away in a jump ball. Malachi Mack with a good defense.
Yeah, like I just said, you know, they're going to scrap. They're not going to back down. They're going to give it everything they have. I look forward to this.
So the Indians will have the ball, and they'll go at half court, breaking the press
There
right away
is.
to Malachi Mack for the layup. Malachi Mack with the first bucket of the game, 2-0.
Excellent
Chattooga.
pass to break the press.
There's Pelote with the basketball for Woodville-Tompkins. He's looking for an open man, kicking it over in the corner. That's Willingham. His three is good.
Get it out the net. Oh, Willingham is coming out with a stroke.
Woodville-Tompkins going with that full court pressure. Clayton Johnson has the ball on the Chattooga side of the court. Getting it into the corners, Jackson. Jackson passing it into Malachi Mack. His post-up layup, no good. Whistle and a foul. And let's check that foul. That's going to be on Malachi Mack, his first foul of the game. We didn't have a lot of fouls called in the first game, which went rather quickly, but that's the first team foul of the game. 3-2.
Yeah, I like to
Woodville
see Malachi I like to see him take that and finish that opportunity right there. He went and got that foul.
Preston Crisp three from the corner rattles out, and the ball is out of bounds, and it's going to go to Woodville. As they're going to say that it was off of Charleston Willingham. Woodville looking like they're going to go to a basic 2-1.
You know, Woodville's first three trips have all been three-point shots.
Tried to get it underneath to Clayton Johnson. The pass, the ball went off the backboard. Mack had it. His shot falls, does not go in. Here comes Woodville-Tompkins off the contact with Deontay Green's shot. It goes off the basket, no good. Little contact, no foul. And coming into the game immediately, freshman Alfred Coxum. Is that how we pronounce it?
That is Alfred Coxum. Alfred Coxum is a freshman, and he's been dropping like 17 points a game. Just recently had 14. And he's been doing very well. He did that. He had 14 against Swainsboro recently. And, yeah, this kid here is very much talked about.
We saw a couple of good freshmen for Franklin County in the first game, and I'm looking forward to seeing Coxum play here. Dribbling the basketball is Nuk Adams. His shot, first shot of the game, no good. Rebound going to Woodville. They're looking to run. That's Coxum passing it to Dillard. His shot blocked, whistle, and a foul, and the Chattooga bench is not happy about that call.
Well, you know, he has that length right there and got him across the arm. I think if he would have actually cut the pass off, he had a better chance of defending that.
Trying to see who they called that foul on. I guess it was on Clayton Johnson. First free throw is up and good by Dillard.
Malachi Jackson, 23.
Malachi Jackson gets the foul. First free throw is up and good. The second one is short. Rebound Malachi Mack. And it's a 4-2 lead for Woodville-Tompkins. Just 2 minutes and a few seconds played here in the first quarter.
Good pass. Way to work the ball up the floor.
Open three is no good by Adams. Rebound coming by Woodville. There's Coxum with a layup, and that's
There's
good.
That freshman.
Now you see why he's there.
Yes, sir.
Coxum's first bucket. And it's 6-2 in favor of Woodville, and now we've got a whistle, and it looks like we got a foul called.
They had a
Woodville.
great trap right there. All they had to do was just actually keep their hands up. Once they start reaching, they're always going to get that foul call.
Foul's going to be on Willingham. That's his first. He leaves the game, and coming in. As Woodville's pressure defense.
Devin Price,
forces the ball out of bounds, but Woodville will keep the ball. They inbound Chattooga. Gets the ball to Malachi Jackson. Jackson looking at what looks like a 2-3 zone from Woodville. Kicking it over to Nuk Adams.
They're going to have to move their ball to penetrate through that zone. you get that zone to move, they're just standing there, and then as long as they stand there, the defense is just going to stand there.
Adams was trying to create a shot, trying to get open, but being guarded well by Dillard. Jackson with it. And now it looks like they kind of switched off to a matchup zone.
Yeah, it looks like
Jackson passing down low, and we've got another foul. Foul is on number 5. That is Deontay Green. That's going to be his first foul of the game. Second team foul for Woodville. The pass is stolen by Coaxum. He's going to take it all the way.
Here he
his
comes.
layup is in. And the
Coaxum
freshman making his impact early as Coaxum has 4 points. It's an 8-2 game.
He definitely came off the bench and started causing some activity.
Out of control was Nuk Adams, and he throws the ball away. It's a turnover. And Coach Jared Gross wants a timeout with his team trailing 8-2 as Woodville's pressure defense is proving to be a lot for Summerville or Chattooga to handle right now. Chattooga High out of Summerville.
Yes, they're definitely putting a lot of pressure on them. I think the length is starting to wear down a little bit early, making the passing angles very hard for Nuk Adams if he's not blazing through the defense. But, however, you still have to rely on passing, moving without the ball, ball fakes with your passes. It's always the old school saying, fake a pass to make a pass, and you're going to have to do that against a team like Woodville-Tompkins with the length that they have.
Woodville-Tompkins will inbounds under their own basket and bring it up. It's Preston Crisp with the basketball. He's passing it over to Dillard. Dillard with some contact as Chattooga turning up their pressure. Jump shot right at the foul line, missing everything. Rebound, Jaquavian Dillard. He lays it up and in. Dillard with his first field goal of the game. That makes it 10-2.
That's a good rebound right there and put back. Here's that pressure again.
Steal, taking it all the way and laying it up. That is Deontay Green.
I like the way the Green went to the basket. He looked off the player and then went on in and finished it.
Nuk Adams dribble, has the ball tipped, and it's another turnover, but we've got a foul.
Now, one
number
thing
20, that's Coaxum, his first foul of the game.
When you have a lot of trapping, sometimes plays get very erratic and you put yourselves in a position to do a lot of unnecessary fouling.
Yeah. Clayton Johnson will inbound for Chattooga, down 12-2 early here in the first quarter. Malachi Mack surrounded. He kicks it back to Nuk Adams. Adams into Mack. Mack will lay it up and in. Malachi Mack.
Mack gets his finish.
He's accounting for both buckets right now, but back quickly comes Woodville with the jumper. That's no good. Rebound going to Chattooga. There's Mosteller. Over to Nuk Adams. Adams long three, no good. Rebound.
Rebound by Pelote.
Pelote able to pass it out to Cross. Gets it to Pelote, back to Coaxum. Whistle and a foul. Looks like they're going to get Malachi Mack, and they do, and that's his second foul, and that's not good news for Chattooga because that means Mack's probably going to have to go to the bench early with foul trouble, and that's exactly what's coming as Devin Price will check in for Mack. Price, a football standout for Chattooga, suffered an ankle injury in their last football game, and he's slow to come back and doesn't see the playing time that Chattooga would like for him to get.
Yeah, those dual sports, sometimes you come from football over to basketball and have a little knack, nooks and crannies on those on those injuries.
Preston Crisp hits that three to make it 15-4 Woodville. As Chattooga trying to solve that press, they do. Clayton Johnson gets it over to Mosteller. Mosteller to Nuk Adams.
From way downtown, Nuk Adams.
Nuk Adams with a three from Villarica.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
That was a long one. And creating the steal, Adams trying to get it up to Clayton Johnson. Coaxum knocks it out of bounds.
It took an extra dribble. I think that allowed Coaxum to get up there to get to that pass. If he would have just immediately passed it to him as soon as he got the possession, I think they would have had an easy layup.
15-7 is the score as Chattooga will inbounds from under the basket. Adams kicks it into Mosteller. Mosteller over to Flowers. Back to Johnson. Over to Adams. He's got Pelote in his face, it looks like.
That's a good screen right there.
Good screen. Mosteller's shot hits the front of the iron in the battle for the rebound, and looks like we're going to have a foul called here. And it's going to be on Clayton Johnson, his first foul. That's the fourth team foul for the Indians. 3 team fouls for
Here's
Woodville.
Chattooga with a press of their own. Got to come up with that finish right there. That was a good hand fake.
Into the hands of Willingham. His shot no good. The jumper also no good by Crisp. And Nuk Adams bringing the ball up the other way for Chattooga. Gets it over to Mosteller. Mosteller over to Jackson. Long 3 for Clayton Johnson.
Clayton Johnson. That's a feathery jump shot he has right there.
And it's a 5-point lead and a whistle, and we got a charge coming here.
No, the referee called a block. I think
the
kid
block.
was still
I'm sorry.
moving. Yeah, looked like he was still moving on the play.
Devin Price is going to get hit with that foul. That's his first. And going to the line.
Yeah, I like the effort by Devin Price to, try to take the charge because he was definitely outsized, coming in. But, however, still got the ticky-tack foul called on him. Good effort, though.
Pelote misses the first free throw. It's a 15-10 lead for Woodville with 1:22 left here in the first quarter. Game 2 of the SportalShowcase. Second free throw rims out, and rebounding is Mosteller for Chattooga. He gets it over to Nuk Adams. Adams launches a 3. No good. Hits the rim. Pelote with the rebound. And here comes the Wolverines on the move. Deere with it in the corner. That's Coaxum driving along the baseline. His layup no good. Too hard off the rim. And whistle. And a foul.
On Pelote looks like.
They got it on Pelote. That's his first.
I tell you one thing.
4th team foul for the Wolverines.
Alex Coaxum is not scared of the moment.
No, he's not. He plays with a lot of confidence. Nuk Adams isn't scared as he's going right after 2 Wolverines. Has the ball knocked away, but he still maintains possession. Acrobatic and still has it. Now kicks it out as they get it over to Mosteller. He fakes a 3, takes the 2 off the glass. No good. Mosteller gets his own rebound, puts it up and in. Will not go. Rebound going to Preston Crisp for Woodville.
Make those.
Wolverines kicking it back out to Dillard. Dillard in the corner to Pelote. Pelote dribbles, shoots the jumper in and out.
Suki smooth move. Got to come up with the finish.
Yeah, the iron was unkind on that one, as Al McGuire, the late Al McGuire would say. It was in, and it just would not stay in. Adams bringing it up as we're under 15 seconds to go in the first quarter, 15-10. Chattooga looking to cut into the Woodville-Tompkins lead. Mosteller over to Adams. Adams launches a long 3. That's short, too far out. Rebound to Woodville, and that's the end of the first quarter. 15-10, Woodville-Tompkins after the first 8 minutes. And, Chuck, we saw a lot of action, but give Chattooga credit. They kind of climbed back into this game in the last half of that quarter.
Yeah, they did. And I think when they came out with the press of their own, they caused a few turnovers, and it paid dearly for them. They were able to get back in this game, and now they're only down 5 points against the #1 team in Georgia.
Yeah, you look at the way that first quarter went, balanced scoring. The freshman Alfred Coaxum had 4 points for off the bench for Woodville, but then again, Malachi Mack had 4 points, just 3 for Nuk Adams. He missed a lot of shots, but I know that Chattooga knows that they're all everything offensive machines. Got to get it going here.
Oh yes, most definitely, and I can tell that that is his guy, his go-to. He's electric when he's in the open court. He definitely is looking for a shot out there on the wing. Got to get the stroke going though, because too many of those missed threes turn into long rebounds, and you don't want to get in a track meet with Woodville-Tompkins with the length that they have.
All right, looks like Woodville's going to start with the ball as they inbounds into Pelote. His shot no good. Rebound and the foul and the bucket. A 3-point play opportunity coming up for Woodville.
There's that length I was just talking about. They can't allow those type of opportunities to keep coming for Woodville-Tompkins if they're going to stay in this game and put themselves in the chance to win.
All right, looks like the foul is going to be on Malachi Jackson. And that's his second foul. His fouls are starting to mount up. The free throw is no good, and then the layup is good by Coaxum.
Coaxum might find himself into the starting lineup before it's all done and said, before this season is over with.
All right, Jackson being guarded closely as it looks like Woodville's now going with a man-to-man or a matchup zone man-to-man. Just a man-to-man. Clayton Johnson with it, gets it out.
Cardinal saying, don't pick up your dribble.
Mac.
Found himself in trouble.
Mac's pass was tipped, but he got it right back, and ball is bounced around, and they're battling for control on the ground as Johnson gets a timeout. Clayton Johnson gets a timeout. That's the second timeout of the game for Chattooga.
Good hustle. That was good hustle.
I'm seeing a lot of action, a lot of hands on defense, getting their hands on that ball and creating a lot of havoc right now for both sides.
Most definitely. And that's, the claim to fame right now for Chattooga is, they're a very scrappy team. They're not going to back down. So they actually have a drill where they run out and dive on the floor for all the loose balls. They spend quite a bit of time, in their practice routine working on that. So you can see that playing over into the game.
All right, it will be Chattooga inbounding as Malachi Jackson gets it into Mosteller. Mosteller bounced past to Malachi. Mack went right through his legs. Too hard for Mack to handle.
Yeah.
Not really.
That's a good idea. Good idea. Not a good pass, though.
Maybe should have gone with just a chest pass instead of a bounce pass. All right, Woodville with the basketball. As they get it down on the lock to Preston Crisp. His turnaround jumper is good. Preston Crisp now has 5 points. And it's back at a double-digit lead for Woodville at 21-10. Coming back, Chattooga is Nuk Adams trying to post up to Malachi. Mack gets it in, and Pelote is going to get called for the foul.
That was a good entry pass by Nuk Adams. He definitely knows how to find the angles into the big guy. And I like to see him do a lot more finishing because he's been having a lot of opportunities.
That's the second foul on Pelote. The first free throw from Mack is off the rim and no good.
They're free for a reason.
Those free throws, they matter no matter if they're in the first quarter or at the end of the fourth quarter.
They all add up.
Mack with the try again, and that one is good. He now has 5 points, and it's a 21-11, 10-point lead for Woodville-Tompkins. But fouls starting to add up here for both teams, as each team's got a couple of their starters sitting on the bench with 2 fouls. Coaches don't want them to pick up that third foul here in the first half. Acrobatic move from Coaxum, and then another layup. Freshman continuing to impress.
Coaxum got some ingredients going, and he's got the stove turned on. Looks like he's ready to keep cooking.
Nuk Adams kicks it back out to Clayton Johnson. Long three, no good. Rebound. And Johnson's going to pick up a cheap foul on Jarquavian Dillard. Dillard did a nice job to get the rebound. That's the second foul on Johnson. But Coach Gross trying to stay with his starters so he can stay in this game. They're down 23-11 is Chattooga. Woodville, the number 1 ranked team in AA out of Savannah. They played last night in Vidalia, and here they are in Metro Atlanta. Pass knocked out of bounds, and it's on the turnover.
Yeah, it looks as though
Chattooga will get the ball.
As I was talking about the length of Woodville, but really the impact, of course, is Coaxum off the bench.
Jamarius Mosteller bringing it up, being guarded by Charleston Willingham. Nuk Adams looking to launch a three, but he's got a man right in his face. Now he passes out to Mack, over to Mosteller. Mosteller getting a screen from Mack. Over in the corner, open three. Adams, no good, long. Rebound, and we've got a foul on Nuk Adams, and I think the frustration's kind of showing for Adams. He's got some open looks, and he just can't get them to go down.
Yeah, and the thing is, they look like they're open, but with the length of the closeout from Woodville-Tompkins, I think that's kind of affecting him being able to knock those shots down. I think he's not used to, having a lot of length come at him the way that they're closing out right now. So I think he's going to have to create a little more off the dribble.
All right, that's the first foul on Adams, and in the bonus situation is Woodville-Tompkins. That's something we didn't really have to worry about in the first game. Very few fouls called. Willingham's first shot is short, and nice battle for the rebound by Crisp. As he keeps the possession, passing it down low to Coaxum, back out to Crisp. His long three, no good. Rebound Dillard, no, he can't get the handle, but the Wolverines in blue still have it as they get it to Willingham. His shot in the paint, no good. Still battling, bodies on the floor. That's Willingham, he's okay. Now on the baseline, Dillard under the bucket, can't get a shot. The ball knocked out of bounds. And it's going to remain with Woodville-Tompkins. They lead 23-18, just about 5 minutes and 18 seconds left here in the first half. Game 2 of the SportalSpace Showcase at South Paulding High School, and a 5-second call. That was a quick 5 seconds, Chuck.
Yeah, I think he wanted to kind of get that there, but it was good defense by Chattooga. Now what they have to do is capitalize over that turnover right there.
Jamarius Mosteller going to bring the ball up. He's being guarded by Charleston Willingham. Mosteller going to take it into the paint,
move.
Looks to pass it, but nobody's there. And a battle for the ball, coming away with it. That's Woodville-Tompkins. As Dante Green's basket shot won't go, but we've got a foul, and it's going to be on Woodville.
I'd like to see Green bring that back out as kind of a forced shot. It really didn't have anything there, just like the previous play over on Chattooga's side. A lot of times kids get to an open spot and they pass it up and go even further and then find themselves in trouble.
Yeah, Charleston Willingham signal for that foul. That's his second. It's a 16 foul for Woodville. The next foul will have Chattooga on the line. Nuk Adams passing it in to Clayton Johnson. Great pass and great layup. Clayton Johnson.
On Clayton. I think they like to see Clayton get a few of those more looks like that.
That was a nice pass, nice layup. Johnson has 5 points, 23-13. A long three-pointer shot by Green, no good. Rebound to Johnson, and we've got a foul. It looks like it's going to be Charleston Willingham picking it up. Yeah, that's going to be his third, according to my count. And that's going to send Clayton Johnson to the line for the 1-and-1. Hopefully the foul shot with a free throw line, Chattooga can stay in this game. We still have 4.5 minutes left here in the first half.
Clayton Johnson is usually a good free throw shooter. He was the first team all-region in 2A in the Region 7. So usually he's making those free throws. Tough to see him miss that. They are down 10 still.
Yeah, the rebound was battled for, went out of bounds off of Woodville, so it'll be Chattooga's ball into the basket. Nice pass into Johnson. His shot,
he got to
no
come
good.
up with that one. That was a good pass. Got to finish that. I'm surprised that he didn't.
Pelote is back into the game for Woodville with 2 fouls, playing out top. A little trapping defense coming from the Indians.
Good penetration. Good patience.
Pelote with it. He's going to let a 3 go. That's off the rim. No good. Battle for the rebound. Nuk Adams comes away with it. Adams driving through the Woodville defense.
Jesus, guys.
Surrounded by 3 guys.
Good pass.
Gets it out to Malachi Jackson. His 3 off the back of the iron. Here comes Deontay Green. Over to Pelote. Whistle and a foul on Adams, and a basket is good.
Good decision by Green. He has Pelote on his side. Pelote is definitely going to finish. He's a 16-point scorer a game, and that was a good finish right there. Good decision by Green.
Looks like Trey Flowers is going to come off the bench for Chattooga. Somebody's got to come off, and that's going to be Jamarius Mosteller. Coach Gross was telling me before the game that he thinks Mosteller is probably their best all-around player. And he's handled the ball a lot. Pelote's free throw is no good. Rebound going to Chattooga. 25-13 is our score. Woodville, the #1 team in AA, leading Chattooga High out of Summerville, Georgia, up in northwest Georgia. That's the great thing about this classic. Clayton Johnson with a great move.
He put him in the spin cycle on that one right there. Great baseline move.
Clayton Johnson with a big first half, 7 points to lead Chattooga. 25-15, just over 3 minutes to play. Whistle, and looks like we've got a foul. Trying to read the numbers here. Got number 23.
That was Malachi Johnson.
And that's going to be his 3rd foul, and coming back into the game is going to be Devin Price. And Malachi Jackson's going to go to the bench, and looks like we got Deontay Green stepping to the line. And
they can't afford to just keep putting Woodville on the free throw line. They definitely have to turn their defense up, cause some more turnovers for Woodville if they expect to keep themselves in this game.
The first end of the 1-on-1 is no good. Rebound going to Devin Price. Johnson with it. He gets it out to Price. Quick pass down low on the paint. That's Malachi Mack. His shot no good.
Malachi Mack is
Green with it.
With
passing it on the wing on
good
the fast
pass.
break. Finishing it off is Crisp. Nope. Rebound up and in. Pelote.
Way to stay with it, Pelote.
6 points now for Pelote. 27-15 Woodville lead. Nuk Adams passing to Price. Price with it. Down low all by himself. Mack laying it up and in. Malachi Mack, his first bucket of the second quarter. He now has 7 points. 27-17, still a 10-point lead.
Pass.
Clayton Johnson gets a turnover, and he's going to go to the foul line as we looks like we got a foul. Is he going to be on Coaxum?
Now, that does look like, a true freshman mistake. A lot of young ball players, they don't realize that it's tough to pass over the defense when the man is right up on you with their hands up. So if they have their hands up high, you always want to go low with that pass. If not, ball fake again to get their hands back down and so you can make that pass. But, however, it's tough when you're trying to do that when you have taller guys right on top of you.
Neither team can hit a free throw. Omar Starr came in for Pelote prior to that missed foul shot. Nice layup.
Pelote starting to show itself out here.
And that goes to Preston Crisp.
Oh, Preston, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Preston Crisp with a layup. 29-17, just over 2 minutes left here in the first half. Nuk Adams going to drive. Nice pass. Unfortunately, the shot wouldn't fall for Devin Price.
Chattooga's missing a lot of opportunities.
Open look, layup is good for Crisp. Preston Crisp with another bucket. He now has 9 points as he's heating up, and it's 31-17 as Woodville kind of taking their toll on Chattooga. Nuk Adams trying to get a screen up top, trying to get free. Malachi Mack trying to get a screen. Adams passing, nice look to Devin Price. His layup is up and good. Devin Price,
they need to have a lot more of those opportunities and finish them. That was a good pass by Nuk Adams.
Preston Crisp, 3 rims out, rebound.
Good hustle.
Good job by Devin Price. He gets it back to Nuk Adams.
They need to come up with something right here.
Trying to get it down low to Malachi Mack, but waiting for it was Omar Starr, but ball's out of bounds. It will remain with Chattooga. With a minute 23 left.
Even though they play at an erratic style play, but I like to see them settle down just a little bit and, try to get shots that are great that they just had on the last couple opportunities.
Jamarius Mosteller checks back in for Devin Price. Price missed the first of the game, played football, suffered a high ankle sprain at the end of the football season. He's still not 100%, and Coach Gross hopes that as the season goes on, that ankle will heal and he'll get the minutes that they really need from their star player.
Yes.
Wow, we got a foul away from the ball. That's going to be on Clayton Johnson. That's Johnson's 3rd foul.
Yeah,
the fouls are really racking up for Chattooga.
Trying to seal that screen and held him.
Woodville able to handle the pressure. Good pass around.
Good basketball
the layup is
right
up
there.
And then, that's Omar Starr, his first bucket.
Nothing like the beauty of great passing basketball, I tell you.
Nuk Adams trying to create, I think, a little bit too much, but is able to maintain possession, getting it to Clayton Johnson. It'll be interesting to see if Chattooga wants to try to limit possession so that no one else picks up any more fouls for them. They've got a couple of guys with 3 fouls, including Clayton Johnson, who's on the court. Adams just cannot shake anybody wearing a blue jersey. He's trying to get an open shot, and he just cannot do it. And give it credit to Woodville. They know Chattooga, that Adams is Chattooga's best scorer. There's a left-handed three by Trey Flowers, no good. Pass up ahead, stolen by Adams. Adams is lightning quick, gets it to Clayton Johnson. His shot off the glass is good. And the whistle at a foul,
right
and
there, unnecessary.
Clayton Johnson just picked up his 4th foul, and Coach Gross is beside himself on that one.
Yeah, very unnecessary right there. You just was able to get a good basket right there going into the half. I think if you just played a containing defense, try to gamble, that you have 3 fouls and your bench is not that deep, and so you put your team in a real tough situation right now and being down double figures.
All right, the first free throw from Deontay Green is no good. There's 5.1 seconds to go. 33-21 Woodville with the lead. Green with one more free throw, and it is up, and it is good. Deontay Green, he now has 3 points. 34-21 as we get to the buzzer. Adams' shot, no good, and that is it. We're at halftime, and it's Woodville 34, Chattooga 21 as the teams head to the locker room for the 10 minutes. And Chuck, kind of the first half we expected when you see Woodville coming out with their pressure defense, their fast break opportunities, and the scorers that they have on the court. They don't just depend on 1 or 2 players. They're looking for everybody to be able to contribute to the offense.
Yeah, and that's a sign of a top tier team, seeing that they are #1 team in the state, and they're pretty much proving that right now, showing that they know how to play good, solid basketball. It's not a one-man show, even though you have the combination of Preston Crisp averaging over 25 points a game, and also Ballard Pilote, who's also making his presence known. But however, I'm just impressed with the freshman off the bench, Alfred Coaxum. He is definitely dynamite. He's not scared. He's very fearless in what he's doing. So I think that, right now for Chattooga, they're going to have to settle down a little bit more on the offensive side. It's kind of helter-skelter out there with them. I know that's kind of their style of play, that they're very scrappy and they get their points off a lot of hustle plays. But right now, their scrappiness got them in foul trouble, and that's going to be tough for them over here the next 16 minutes, or actually 18 minutes of the game.
Well, we'll have to check with the final book, but you talked about foul trouble. Chattooga, I've got Malachi Jackson with 3, and I've got Clayton Johnson with 4, and he picked up that, if it is 4 fouls, he picked up that 4th foul with 5 seconds to go, trying to pressure somebody in the backcourt, and that's not a smart play that you want, especially when you're trying not to pick up a foul.
Exactly. You just want to, like I said earlier, you just want to contain as far as defense is concerned. You guys worked hard to get a basket late going into the halftime. So just want to play good, solid defense. I always, whenever I'm on the bench, I'm screaming, no fouls, just contain.
Well, this is the second of 5 games at the Sportal TV Showcase, playing here at South Paulding High School in Douglasville, Georgia. The first game of the day, we saw a really great matchup between Mundy's Mill from 6A and Franklin County, 59-57. Mundy's Mill a winner. Franklin County had a shot to win the game with a 3-pointer that hit the back of the iron. That was a thrilling game. And then coming up right after this game at 4 o'clock, Eagles Landing Christian Academy taking on Grayson. You've got 1A versus 7A, but that should be a very, very good basketball game.
Oh, yes, most definitely. Both of these teams are loaded with talent. I think you take the classifications and you just throw them out the window and allow these kids to suit up against each other and go at it.
And then after that at 6 o'clock, Coffee High School from Douglas, Georgia. A school that I'm very familiar with seeing and playing basketball. They've had a really strong program for the last 15 years or so. They'll be taking on Campbell High. And then the final game, Jeff Davis will be taking on our host, South Paulding, at 6A. In case you're wondering, yes, South Paulding was originally scheduled to play Mundy's Mill, but due to the weather situation in northeast Georgia with the snow and ice, Franklin County played the early game so that they could get back home before the weather got too bad. But still going to be a great game in these last 2 games.
Oh, yes. South Paulding is actually on a roll. They knocked off the 2-time state champs of Langston Hughes for the last couple years, and I know that is a big win for them in their program, and looks like Coach has them going in the right direction.
All right, as we look at this first half, we'll run down your scores for Woodville. We've got Bernard Pelote. He had 6 points. Jarquavian Dillard had 3 points. It was Preston Crisp with 9 points to lead the way. Deontay Green had 3 points. Charleston Willingham had 3. Freshman Alfred Coxum had 8 points. And also Omar Starr came off the bench and added a bucket for Woodville. For Chattooga, Malachi Mack had 7 points for the Indians. It was Nuk Adams with just 3 points, 1 3-pointer. Clayton Johnson, who had those 4 fouls, has 9 points, and Devin Price had 5 points. But I guess when you look at the scoring for Chattooga, what stands out is Nuk Adams. They're everything, all-star guard, only with 3 points, and they're making it tough for him. Woodville is to get his shots, but even though when he's getting those opportunities, he's getting kind of frustrated the fact that his shot's not falling for him.
Yeah, like I said, the length of Woodville is causing a little havoc for Nuk Adams to get his shot off the way that he's accustomed to getting it. I think he's going to make some adjustments after halftime. And the player that he is, he's definitely has the skill to make those adjustments, to get those gentlemen right off the feet and go home right by them and make a few other plays. He's done dynamite with, feeding into the side of the post, and also on the break he's giving up good passes. But Chattooga's just not finishing the way that they should be finishing as a varsity team.
Yeah, but Coach Gross has said that this is going to be a big challenge for his team, but this is the kind of non-region challenge that Chattooga needs. This is a basketball team that a couple of years ago they were in the Elite Eight 2 seasons ago. Last year they were beaten in the first round of the playoffs, and you know that their goal is to get back into the playoffs, and their goal is to make a deep run and try to get to the state finals and the semifinals.
Right, exactly. So I mean, they're trying their best here to get their rhythm back with the football players are just getting back to the teams. But at the end of the day, they really have to finish those opportunities that they have, especially the ones that are close on the inside. Once they see those layups going in, they get to the free throw line, see the free throws go in, now they can go outside and start knocking down those 3-pointers that they're accustomed to hit.
All right, Kyle Sandy was SportalSpace. He's going to be picking the game MVP. So stick around with that. The game MVP will get a free SportalSpace shirt. As we're about 3 minutes away from starting the second half, it is Woodville-Tompkins leading Chattooga 34-21. As our engineering crew is working here, we'd like to thank Locke Hoover and Joseph Johnson for all their work as our engineers, producers, and Ramin Forgani on camera. And we mentioned Kyle Sandy and Brian Zwerner with SportalSpace, Chuck Jones, and I'm Robert Heydrich as Woodville-Tompkins coming out of the locker room as they get ready to warm up. And Chuck, you're Jared Gross, the head coach of Chattooga. What are you telling the Indians that they are going to need to do to get back in this game in the second half?
I think we're going to need to, of course, play some defense and cause some turnovers for Woodville. But when we get those turnovers back, we cause those turnovers there, we're going to have to take advantage of those opportunities, whether it's on a fast break or if it's on a half-court set. The layups that they're missing is just, unacceptable. So at the end of the day, they're going to have to make sure that they're finishing those opportunities and try to keep Woodville off the glass and stop turning the ball over on their side as well offensively. I think when Woodville puts in that press that they have, always a good way to beat a press is, get that ball up the floor by way of the middle of the floor. If you hit that middle of the floor, you pretty much have options on the outside. So you definitely want to try to break the press by getting the ball in the middle of the floor.
You're Lenny Williams. You're the head coach of Woodville-Tompkins. What are you telling your team? What did you tell your team before they came out here to warm up?
Oh, we're going to keep the pressure on them. We're going to keep the pressure on them defensively. We'll make sure that we secure all those rebounds because the team is scrappy and they can cause a lot of loose ball to happen, and then continue to put the pressure on them offensively with our offense. We're going to get good shots. We're going to be patient. And look, these guys are not going to lay down. They're here to play just like you guys are. So guess what? The score is 0-0 as far as I'm concerned.
Of course, you got to give Woodville-Tompkins credit. They drove from Savannah to Vidalia and played a region game last night, and I assumed that they left there, drove up here, spent the night, and got up and to play a 2 o'clock game. That's not an easy turnaround, but through the first 16 minutes, they looked pretty good.
Well, that's good. And, for, when you're a number one team, you have to go through a little adversity and things like that. It helps you along the long run, especially when it comes time for the region tournaments and your state tournaments as well, which we look for them to be one of the favorites to win it all this year.
All right, we're going to get ready to tip off as Chattooga just now coming out of the locker room to start the second half as Woodville is putting their starting lineup for the second half in, and it looks like maybe their starting lineup, you got Pelote out there along with Jaquarvi and Dillard, Preston Crisp, Deontay Green, and we're going to have Alfred Coaxum in there instead of Charleston Willingham. For Chattooga, you got Malachi Mack, you've got Nuk Adams, you've got Jamarius Mosteller and Clayton Johnson and Malachi Jackson, which was the same starting 5 they went with, but Johnson and Jackson both with foul trouble as we start this second half.
All right, here we go.
It'll be Chattooga with the ball. Mosteller going up against Dillard. Mack coming up, setting a screen. Mosteller going in, laying it up and in. Good play as Jamarius Mosteller gets his first bucket of the game.
That's the opportunities that I was talking about right there, Rob, where when you guys get an opportunity to get a guy off the dribble, finish.
Woodville running their half-court offense against a man-to-man from the Indians. Pelote with it. Looking for someone to get open. Tries a flash in the middle, but Clayton Johnson making a nice defensive play. The ball going out of bounds. It's going to be off of Dillard for Woodville, so it'll be Chattooga's ball as the Indians look to have a little momentum and make a run to start this second half and climb back in this game.
There's that turnover I was talking about. Now, here's where they have to be patient and take advantage of that opportunity.
All right, Clayton Johnson going to set a screen for Mosteller. He gets open. Kicking it in the corner to Malachi Jackson. Jackson going to dribble it out. Now he's going to drive in the lane, wide open. Nice pass to Malachi Mack. And so far the offense looks really good here in the second half for Chattooga as it's now a 34-25 lead. They've got it under double digits.
Coach Gross may have went in there and gave him a mouthful.
Spin move Crisp and Malachi Mack as Crisp goes hard to the floor. And it is Malachi Mack picking up the foul. That's his third of the game. And as we said, the fouls are really starting to mount up for a Chattooga team that is not a deep team on the bench.
Right. They have a lot of bodies, but I'm not sure will they be able to contribute.
All right, Dillard's going to inbound under the Woodville-Tompkins basket. Look to go to Crisp. Instead, he's going to go to Deontay Green. Green lays it up and in.
Yeah, it had the size advantage over Nuk Adams over there on the inside. That was a good entry pass.
First bucket of the second half for the Wolverines, 36-25. Woodville-Tompkins leading over Chattooga. Woodville wanting a travel, but instead it's a missed shot by Mack. And coming away is Woodville. Getting up ahead, that's Pelote. Nice move. I'm sorry, that is Preston Crisp. 4-and-1 kind of looking the same from up.
This is where they have to be patient.
And we've got a kick violation on Woodville, so the ball will remain with Chattooga.
It's clearly nothing was there right there, and this is with the time that you have to be patient. When there's nothing there, don't force it. You guys have a lot of basketball to play.
Malachi Jackson will inbound for Chattooga. Mosteller has it. Woodville going with their man-to-man defense. Trying to run some screens on the baseline to get Nuk Adams open. Adams has the ball. He only has one basket, a three-pointer. Adams working into the middle. Gets a nice pass to Mosteller. Mosteller lays it up and in.
There you go. You got to be patient. Be patient. You can get all you want if you're patient.
Well, Coach Gross said that Jamarius Mosteller was probably their best overall player, and they're trying to get him the basketball. He didn't have a shot in the first half, and he's got 4 points here as Woodville turning the ball over. Willingham checking in for Dillard. Coaxum is also back in the game for the Wolverines. 36-27, Woodville with the lead over Chattooga. About 5.5 minutes left here in the third quarter. Robert Heidrich, Chuck Jones bringing the action in game 2 of this 5-game SportalShowcase.
Nice move.
That was a great move by Mosteller. He now has 6 points, and it's a 7-point lead for Woodville. Willingham, nice move, but the shot would not fall as it hangs on the rim, and Mack just picks up his 4th foul. So the good news for Chattooga is that Jamarius Mosteller is getting going on the offensive end, but the bad news is that Malachi Mack looks like he's got 4 fouls.
And a lot of confidence by Coach Gross to have 2 of his starters in the game with 4 fouls. Still a lot of time to play.
Xavier Furlow,
and it looks like he just fouled out.
Yep. That's 5 on Malachi Mack, and that is really a real blow for Chattooga as they're trying to get back into this game, as Mack picks up 3 fouls within almost 3 minutes, and he will have to watch this game from the bench, and that's not what Chattooga needs.
Not at all. I'm not too sure if I understand if, I don't have a deep bench, but I'm going to utilize some of those guys. They have 9 guys sitting on the bench right now, and I'm going to use those guys right now. See, right now he's forced himself into having to use guys that he's not accustomed to using, but if he moves them around throughout the game, shuffling them in and out, I think, he'll be able to keep those guys in longer.
Raquavian Dillard checks back in. Xavier Furlow takes a seat on the bench. Mosteller lost the handle and turns the ball over. Here comes Dillard back the other way, gets it to Willingham. Willingham in the corner with a jumper, no good. That was Deontay Green battling on the board and scoring. That looked like Pelosi.
It looked like Preston Crisp went off his rebound and get back. They're pressing. They're trying to do a little bit too much right now. Go back to being patient.
Johnson. Back out, in and out. Tough break for Trey Flowers, who checked in when Malachi Mack fouled out. Good defense there by Malachi Jackson as he knocks the ball out of the hands of Deontay Green, and it goes out of bounds.
I like to see Chattooga. I just keep saying it over and over again. Just like
quick pass to Willingham. He gets the bucket off the inbounds pass. 40-29. It's back to 11 points for Woodville-Tompkins. Mosteller kicking it over to Malachi Jackson. Jackson over to Nuk Adams. Adams looking to get it going as he drives in the lane, takes it up, whistle, and the foul and the bucket. 3-point play opportunity here.
Maybe this will get him going here.
I couldn't see that. I guess it's going to be Willingham who picks up the foul. That's going to be his 4th. And Adams gets his first bucket of the second half. He now has 5 points in the game, trying to make it 6. And it's good.
Way to finish the play for Nuk Adams.
40-32.
You got to play some defense now.
Whistle and a foul, and we're going to get, I think, Malachi Jackson. Malachi Jackson was going to pick up the foul. That's his 4th. Jackson going to go out, and coming into the game is Jatorian Williams, a junior. His first action of the game. Jatorian sitting in as foul trouble setting in.
Stepped on that baseline.
Green stepped out of bounds on that move. Bucket no good. Nuk Adams thought he'd been called with a foul, but he doesn't realize that
he stepped out of bounds. That's called a good sign of playing good D right there.
Green's got a sore head from that, but he stepped out of bounds. 40-32, Chattooga looks to continue to cut into this Woodville lead. Clayton Johnson looking to get it to Mosteller, who's posting up Coxum. Now he gets taken up to Nuk Adams. Long three is good. And, folks, Nuk Adams is starting to really warm up. He's got 5 points now in this third quarter. Coaxum's layup, no good. He goes hard to the floor, no foul. Mosteller coming back the other way. Mosteller up, out of control. And turns it over out of bounds.
Man, it is, I get it. He feels the rhythm. He's feeling the momentum, but now they have to get back on defense. Here's to being sad and feeling sorry for yourself, guys. Get back on the tee.
Preston Crisp couldn't finish the layoff, and here comes Chattooga back. Nuk Adams wide open three, and he's feeling it, boys.
Look like Nuk is starting to get his flame hot from outside there.
You're seeing why Nuk Adams is one of the top scorers in the state of Georgia, and we've got a travel on Pelote. And we've got a 2-point game, 40-38. Back-to-back threes by Nuk Adams has put Chattooga down just a bucket to the number 1 ranked team in AA.
I think Nuk has got a swag back right now. He's feeling it.
Devin Price getting ready to check back into the game for Chattooga. Mosteller setting up the offense for the Indians.
Patience.
Gets it over to Williams. Adams with a three. That's too long. Rebound to Pelote, looking up ahead, and he throws it away out of bounds. And Woodville is not helping themselves.
I'm going to have a timeout right now and have a discussion. But Lenny Williams, he's going to use his timeout from the sideline and just, instruct his team to do better on this side.
All right, Nuk Adams with the basketball. He's feeling it. Thought about a three instead. Passes it out to Trey Flowers. Clayton Johnson with it. Driving up and in. The layup, no good. Left it a little bit short of the iron.
Clayton Johnson in this second half too much.
Here's Dillard coming back the other way for Woodville-Tompkins. Passing it out to Deontay Green, being guarded by Clayton Johnson. And we got a over the back as Williams stepped on the half-court line back into the backcourt, and he didn't realize where he was on the court, and that's another turnover for Woodville-Tompkins. The Wolverines not looking sharp in this third quarter.
Not at all. That court awareness is definitely key here in this situation.
Of course, it's easy to understand. They played a game last night down in Vidalia and then drove up here to play in the afternoon. Adams kicks it out. Wide open is Williams. His three, no good. Rebound, layup, and good. That's Devin Price with his second basket of the game.
We have a ball game, folks.
And it is tied up at 40-40 between Chattooga and number 1 Woodville-Tompkins. You see a lot of life
Rob, they're
on
a scrappy
Chattooga
team.
bench.
They're a scrappy team.
Pelote with a three, no good. Rebound going to Crisp. Back out to Dillard.
And they're doing all this with Jackson sitting on the bench.
And they're resetting the offense are the Wolverines. Deontay Green passing it down to Crisp. His turnaround jumper is no good.
Max.
Rebound to Nuk Adams. Littlest guy on the floor making the big rebound. Adams going coast to coast. His shot no good. No whistle, no foul. Pelote back the other way. Woodville running under a minute to play in the third quarter. Nice pass on low to Pelote. Whistle, foul, and the layup. Pelote with the bucket. And it looks like we've got number 5. That would be Devin Price picking up the foul. That's his second foul.
That was a great move right there by BP in there in the lane.
Yeah, that's just 8 points for Woodville in this quarter, which has got 50 seconds left as Pelote back on the line. He hasn't hit a foul shot today, but he can give his team a 3-point lead. What a game we're seeing here in the second half. Good job by Chattooga to come back. Pelote's free throw is good. 43-40 with 50 seconds to go. Mosteller has the ball as he brings it up.
Chattooga is having a great third quarter right here, which is very important when you're coming out of the half when you're down double digits.
Mosteller looking for someone to pass it to, and we got a foul. Yep, got a travel.
I like Mosteller trying to cause activity, but sometimes he's getting a little over-aggressive, and it looks like he's forcing some of those plays, which is turning into turnovers.
All right, here comes Woodville-Tompkins with about 30 seconds left. Coaxum with the basketball. He gets a screen, pick and roll to Preston Crisp, but he lost it out of bounds, but they said it was off of Jatorian Williams. Or Jatorian Williams, I should say. Jatorian is his twin brother, who's number 12. Jatorian is number 11. So Dillard to inbound under his basket. Gets it out to Deontay Green.
He has baseline right here. Missed it.
Looking to get a screen from Preston Crisp. Instead, he goes the other way. Green's basket, no good. His
looks like he forced it there.
Mosteller back, looking to run, going right up the court, kicks it out to Williams, who loses it out of bounds. Another turnover for Chattooga. 7.9 seconds left here in the third quarter, 43-40. Woodville-Tompkins, #1 team, being tested by Chattooga from 7AA. Here we go at the buzzer. The shot by Green is no good, and that'll do it. We've played 3 quarters, and we've got a ball game going into the fourth quarter. Woodville-Tompkins 43, Chattooga 40. And Chuck, what did you see from Chattooga in the third quarter that's got them back in this game?
Well, they took their time, like I was explaining at half, that, you know, when they get the opportunity to score, they have to finish. And they finished on a lot of those baskets, got a lot of hustle plays, kind of rattled Woodville. Woodville looks like they kind of got out of control, out of sync of what they have been doing thus far. So right now, I would say that Chattooga still has a momentum, so to speak, right now. And they've done it all with Malachi Mack sitting on the bench with 5 fouls.
And they've got 2 other key players, Malachi Jackson and Clayton Johnson, both with 4 fouls. So
yes.
I mean, that is one of the concerns they have in this final 8 minutes as they try to knock off the #1 team in the state.
Yeah, I think, you know, of course, with, you know, Bernard Pelote struggling at the free throw line, I may throw some of these guys that's on the bench to go in there and rough him up just a little bit. And if we can get them to miss shots while the clock is stopped, then we'll take advantage of that.
All right, let's see who we've got on the court. It's going to be Woodville's ball to start with. Dillard, Green, Pelote, Crisp, and Alfred Coaxum are going to be their starting 5. Trey Flowers, Nuk Adams, Devin Price, Malachi Jackson, and Jamarius Mosteller. Your starting 5 for Chattooga. Pelote taking it to the bucket, and shot will not go, but we've got a foul. That's going to be on number 5. That's going to be on Devin Price. That's his 3rd foul of the game. And they're going to give 2 shots to Bernard Pelote. First free throw is up and good. Pelote starting to warm up at the foul line as he gets a second one, 44-40. And it's a 5-point lead, 45-40 for
I think that's the first time that he's actually hit 2 in a row. So it looks like he's found his stroke. So much for the strategy to put him on the free throw line, right?
Deion Deere checking in for Alfred Coaxum. Deere, a junior for the Wolverines. He's on Mosteller right now.
Mosteller has to be careful.
Has it picked his.
I seen the turnover
Deontay
coming.
Green
it
gets
a little out of control.
Woodville steals it right back. Nuk Adams with the basketball. Adams looking to get free, passing it to Mosteller in the paint. Looked like he walked, but no call. Nice pass underneath. The layup shot no good from Price, but Nuk Adams will wind up with it. His 3 is short. Battle for the loose ball, and we've got a jump ball, and that means it should be Chattooga's ball, as Woodville had the ball. So Chattooga's got the ball now. The next jump ball possession, it will go to Woodville-Tompkins as Chattooga will inbounds under their own basket. Trey Flowers looking for somebody to throw it to, gets it out to Nuk Adams.
I think I like Nuk Adams handling it more than
Mosteller.
Yeah, Mosteller at this point, because he's kind of forcing it. See here?
Yeah.
He's getting himself in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. The Wolverines swarming around anybody with white wearing the basketball. It's got the basketball and possessing the basketball in the paint.
Now they have
really
to move it. They're allowing the ball to stick a little bit too much. Against this zone, you have to move the ball.
They're working it around, trying to get an open shot. Adams with it. Passing in the corner to Devin Price. Price kicking it back out to Malachi Jackson. Jackson going to dribble into the paint, kicking it up. It looks like Trey Flowers, left-hander, no good. Short shot, but Devin Price comes away with it off the glass and good. Devin Price.
The football player's making his impact.
He's got 4 points, 45-42. Devin Price has got an offer to play at the Army, West Point, United States Military Academy.
Oh,
nice layup there from Preston Crisp. Crisp now has 13 points, and it's still a 5-point lead, 47-42.
Okay. There's
Flowers
the old
gets
Duke
the screen from
smack
Mosteller.
floor,
Mosteller's
and he
layup is
still
good.
gets drugged to the basket. That's when Mosteller is at his best, when he has those, creating himself for those open lanes.
Mosteller and Adams coming to life for Chattooga in the second half, and it's a 47-44 game. Woodville-Tompkins with a 3-point lead. They've got the basketball.
Come in. Somebody has to come to it.
Deion Deere, and we've got a timeout called by Woodville. That's their first timeout of the game. 47-44, 5:33, and it's really interesting, and it's really great to see what's going to happen in these final 5 minutes here, five and a half minutes.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. It looks like Nuk Adams found his stroke. So if he can get a few more of those looks, I think Woodville will be in a little trouble. But right now it looks like Woodville's a little rattled because they're not expecting to be in this situation against Chattooga, who's basically still putting their team together with a couple of new football players onto the roster, and they don't have the chemistry that Woodville has developed over the last couple months to get to be #1 team in the state. So they're going to have to settle down and get their act together if they want to pull out this win.
Yeah, Chattooga's 4-2, or 3-2, I should say. They lost a couple of games at a tournament of Dalton to some Tennessee teams. Clayton Johnson checks back in for Chattooga on this possession as Woodville has the basketball. Deontay Green waiting for Preston Crisp to come out and run the offense. A 2-3 zone now from the Indians. Deion Deere passing over to Pelote. Pelote in the corner. Preston Crisp lets a three go. That's short. Rebound going to Chattooga. Mosteller to Clayton Johnson. And whistle and a block.
We must have foul calls incorrect because Malachi Mack is back in the game.
Malachi Mack is back in the game. They said 5 fouls.
That's a batted bonus. Nuk Adams is open. Good ball fake. Good pull up.
Adams' shot won't fall as Deontay Green got that last foul. Now a whistle and another foul. And that's going to be on Deion Deere.
That's a good, strong rebound right there by Deion Deere. I'm sorry.
Deere picks up his foul. As Mosteller is on the.
Mosteller has to convert over there. He worked hard to get that offensive rebound, got the foul call. You got to make those free throws. I just can't believe these kids they have to work on their free throws. They really do.
We apologize for the foul, but when Mack made his last foul, the official score held up five fingers to the officials.
Yeah,
so we
were on the same count, Coach.
Yeah.
I just thought it was the same thing as well.
The official score is down at the bottom of the floor. We're up top, so. But we know that Mack has 4 fouls. We know that Clayton Johnson's got 4 fouls. And we also know that Malachi Jackson's got 4 fouls. So
it's a 2-point game right here.
47-45 here is Preston Crisp.
That's
nice shot.
A good solid move right there by Preston Crisp. Good ball fake. Let the guy go by. Go ahead and knock down the mid-stroke.
Crisp's got 15 points, 49-45 Woodville lead. Mosteller gets bumped by Adams. Devin Price got the ball, got it back to Adams. Adams trying to get his shot. He got hot for a little while, hit a couple of threes to put Chattooga back in the game. Clayton Johnson with a nice screen that the Woodville player ran right through, no call. Adams' shot was no good. Woodville back and running. Crisp getting it to Deontay Green. Green is going to bring it right back out, pass it off to Crisp. Under 4 minutes to play, 49-45. Woodville-Tompkins with a lead over Chattooga.
Yeah, I'm running a little offense right here if I'm Woodville-Tompkins. Knock off some of that clock. Go ahead and get a good, easy basket and increase the lead. But right now, Chattooga's playing a great deal of defense right now.
That they are. Coach Lenny Williams calling a new set for his Wolverines to run. Crisp over to Green, back to Crisp.
Good screen.
Over in the corner. And the pass is thrown away. Here comes Nuk
Nuk
Adams.
has numbers. He has numbers.
Nice pass up and in.
And
good, and a foul. Malachi Mack gets the basket.
Nuk Adams has been dropping off a few packages lately in this game, all throughout the game, actually.
And Mack can make it a 1-point game as Willingham comes out. And Coaxum comes back in.
Yeah, we hadn't heard too much from Coaxum here in that second half, so look for Woodville to try to get him going.
Yeah, Coaxum had 8 points in the first half. The free throw is good by Mosteller.
We have a tie ball game, folks.
Mack, I'm sorry, that's Malachi Mack. I'm sorry. It's 49-49.
And this is the action you want here at the Sportal Showcase.
Coaxum.
Big shot.
The pass to Crisp. His shot, no good. Rebound, Clayton Johnson.
Chattooga can take the lead right now if they're patient. Once again, I like to see Nuk Adams handling the ball.
Jamarius Mosteller with the basketball. Passing off in the corner is Clayton Johnson. He's going to dribble it back out. Nuk Adams wants to get his hands on the basketball and run the offense. A much different team in this second half offensively has been Chattooga.
Very much so.
Devin Price tried to pass it and he threw it away, trying to get it down in the post to Mosteller, but it's a turnover.
Yeah, good idea, but, bad pass. A lot of times you have those good ideas, but you got to make sure you execute the pass
It
as
is 49-48.
Okay. Made a correction
Woodville-Tompkins with the lead. And the basketball, a zone defense from Chattooga. Coaxum back out to Green. Dillard back in the game. They're trying to really shut down the middle.
Pass.
And we've got a foul coming up here. Now we've got 0 white. And that is 5 this time. Our official scorekeeper is saying Malachi Mack, he does foul out with 11 points in this game. And that's going to be something that is going to be missed. Malachi Jackson will come into his in his spot of the game. Woodville-Tompkins is not in the bonus. Their next foul, they will be. Dillard will inbound under the Wolverine basket. They'll go back out to Coaxum.
They need good D right here for Chattooga.
Under 2 minutes to play, 1 point game. Number 1, Woodville-Tompkins being tested by Chattooga. The unranked Indians trailing 49-48.
Good patience right here by Woodville.
Getting it into Crisp, back out to Green, over to Pelote. His jumper, no good, too strong, but the rebound going to Deontay Green. Green trying to pass it in the middle.
Here comes
and
Nuk.
Here comes Nuk Adams back for Chattooga. Adams had a dribble off the back of a defender, whistle and a foul, but they're going to say it's on the floor. The basket would have counted, or didn't count, but the basket went in.
Yeah, it was a good hustle play. Nuk got tripped up down there and lost the ball, but however, Malachi continued on the play, was able to get the foul, but however, they called it on the floor.
Bernard Pelote got called for the foul. That's his third. But that
like to see this inbounds play. What do they have coming?
Inbound to Nuk Adams. He was looking to catch and shoot, but the pass was not in a way that he could do that. Instead, it's knocked out of bounds by Deontay Green. It will still be Chattooga's ball. 1:25 to go. Woodville-Tompkins leading 49-48, but Chattooga with the ball with a chance to take the lead. Clayton Johnson is going to inbound this basketball for Chattooga. And they left it up and in. With a dunk attempt, it would not fall for Devin Price. Here comes Woodville-Tompkins. Whistle and a foul as the layup doesn't go. The shot does not fall.
Now you have to execute that. That was a great play. They executed it, but however, they didn't come up with the finish.
Yeah. I think they got Clayton Johnson with a foul, and that's going to be his 4th. Jarquavian Dillard for the first of 2 shots. In and out.
Dillard leaves there.
1:16 to go. If Dillard makes this shot, a 2-point basket from Chattooga would tie the game. The second free throw is good. That's Dillard's first point of the second half. He now has 4, and we have a timeout.
Yeah, Coach Lenny Williams, I think, is trying to make sure that he's setting up his defense, allow his teammates, his players to know that we do have the lead, and we have to be patient with the ball, come down here and not miss a defensive assignment. If I'm Chattooga, I'm definitely attacking the basket and looking for the kick out, and definitely looking for Nuk Adams right now to knock down an outside shot, or you can get Clayton Johnson going to the basket a few times as well. So you do have options and opportunities. So I like to see what Coach Gross pulls up right now.
I think looking for Jamarius Mosteller going to the bucket, getting the ball out to Adams or somebody, and they're worried about that, covering the shooter, and then have him flash to the basket. That might be a good play as well. And it's been a really great, entertaining game. Give Chattooga credit; they were down at halftime by the score of 13 points, 34-21, and now they're down 50-48. Of course, you wonder what Woodville's got in Tompkins has in the tank. They played at Vidalia last night, then drove up here and had to play an afternoon game. But championship effort from both teams in this game.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Good hooping right here.
All right, Woodville inbounding, and it looks like, Chattooga's got the ball. Woodville looking with that trap defense. They need to get the ball over. Mosteller gets it to Nuk Adams. Adams, long cross-court pass over to Malachi Jackson, bumped by Coacham. No foul.
Very dangerous pass.
Mosteller with the ball. We're under a minute to play. Adams with it. Adams in the corner to Clayton Johnson. Johnson going to dribble it out. So it looks like Chattooga wants to make sure they get a good shot to tie this game up. Mosteller guarded by Dillard, and we've got a timeout now by Chattooga. It's a good timeout there by Coach Gross. Gives them a chance to.
Yeah, they looked a little out of sync right there, and looks like he has his clipboard out. He's getting ready to draw up something good. All they have to do is execute, and they have an opportunity to either tie the ball game or take the lead if they get an opportunity for a three-pointer.
38.7 seconds left. Woodville-Tompkins 50, Chattooga 48. The Indians with the basketball looking for a basket that will either tie or give them the lead. Game 2 of the SportalShowcase here at South Paulding High School. Coming up after this game at 4 o'clock, we'll have Eagles Landing Christian Academy against Grayson. 6 o'clock, you'll look for Coffee High taking on Campbell. And then it's the final game of the day around 8:30 between South Paulding and Jeff Davis. We hope that you're enjoying this game on SportalSpace, Sportal TV. On our streaming channel, we invite you to look for SportalSpace in our Twitter feed for all the coverage of high school sports as the high school basketball season kicking off in full gear now as we get closer to the holidays. A lot of holiday tournaments are going to be getting underway in the next 10 days or so.
Yes, that's the beauty about this time of the year. It's a plethora of basketball going on across not only the state but throughout the country.
Jamarius Mosteller inbounds to Malachi Jackson. Mosteller kicking it over to Jackson. We're under 30 seconds to play.
They're not allowing Luke to get the ball. It looks like they're making sure they're gluing on him.
They're trying to run some screens on the baseline.
Three in the key. Wow.
Will they get a 3-second call?
3 seconds in the paint.
3 seconds.
Looks
what
like
a costly turnover.
That's tough when you get that from one of your seniors.
Give Woodville credit, though. They were trying to run screens with 2 players to get Adams an open shot, and great switching defense.
I think I'm going to foul now.
Yeah, Chattooga with the basketball. Of course, Clayton Johnson's got 4 fouls. They don't need him to foul as we're under 10, and now Johnson does commit the foul. And he knows.
Johnson looks like he's a little upset with his teammates, Come over and help me out, man. I'm straddled with 4 fouls right here. Come on over. Help out. I need you to foul. But he did the smart thing and just sacrificed that foul and, hope to give his team an opportunity to.
He's the second Indian to foul out in this game. Trey Flowers will come in his place. Jarkavian Dillard with a chance to make it a 2-possession game with 8 seconds left. The first of a 1-and-1 is out. The clock is running.
Must be out of timeouts, maybe.
Here we go. Mosteller. Mosteller over to,
Can he time it?
to Malachi Jackson. No, the shot of the buzzer. No, the tip. Oh, it would not fall. And that's your final score, 50-48. Woodville-Tompkins survives a great effort from the Chattooga Indians as the two teams meet at half court to shake hands. But, Chuck, what a great game. And, hey, Chattooga had what they wanted, a chance to win the game. The shot that just from Malachi Jackson just would not fall, and then the tip would not go either.
Right. Yeah, and it was almost the same scenario we had in the game prior to this one. Under 10 seconds left, had an opportunity to get a good look, but the iron was definitely unkind, and The trip was worth it for Woodville as they travel from Vidalia all the way up here to Douglas County. Now they have to get back on the road in this nasty weather.
And as we look down at midcourt, we will see Kyle Sandy presenting Preston Crisp with a Player of the Game award. Crisp had 15 points for the Wolverines as he gets his shirt, as you can see there. And we congratulate Preston Crisp with 15 points. Bernard Pelote had 11 for the Wolverines as well. Meanwhile, it was Malachi Mack and Nuk Adams both with 11 points each. Clayton Johnson had 9 points all in the first half as the final score was 50-48.
Yeah, it's almost like Nuk Adams and Clayton Johnson traded places. You know, Nuk couldn't find the shot in the first half. Clayton had things going, had 9 points, and come back in the second half, Clayton just kind of disappeared while Nuk arrived.
All right, so Woodville-Tompkins wins 50-48. They now improve to 7-0 on the season. Chattooga falls to 3-3, but they learned a lot about themselves and are really the kind of game they wanted to get tested against really good non-region AA competition. If you missed the first game, Monday's Mill won a 2-point affair, 59-57 over Franklin County. Don't go away. We'll be back in about 30 minutes as we will have the third game of our 5-game schedule between Eagles Landing Christian Academy and Grayson coming up at 4 o'clock. Then after that, Coffee and Campbell, and then South Paulding at Jeff Davis. We're here at South Paulding High School for Chuck Jones, for Joseph Johnson, for Luke Hover, Raneen Fergani, Kyle Sandy, and Brian Zwarner. I'm Robert Heidrich saying thank you for watching this game on SportalSpace. We'll see you back here in about 30 minutes.
All right.